Mr. Sprague, is that you? Sir, you're charged with indecent exposure. You are facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present during any questions and interviews with the state of Texas. If you cannot afford a lawyer will be appointed to represent you, sir.
On June 25th, 2024, the defendant who required medical treatment at a hospital was transported by ambulance where the complaining witness was on board. While in transport, the complaining witness performed medical care for the defendant. While providing care, the defendant used his right hand to touch the complaining witness's thigh and massage the thigh, causing alarm. The complaining witness discontinued care and moved to another location in the ambulance, still able to observe the defendant. The defendant used his hand to grab his genitals and used his hand to grab his penis and began touching himself with intent to arouse for sexual gratification. The defendant reached with his hand into his pants multiple times on the way to the hospital and was advised to stop. When at the hospital and while still in the ambulance, the defendant pulled his pants down, exposing himself.
That's what I was going to, because I was going to see if there was any exposure. So there was, he exposed himself at that point. At the hospital?
In the ambulance and at the hospital.
Okay. Mr. Sprague, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with the case. I'm ordering you as a condition of your bond not to have any contact with the complaining witness in this case and not to go back. I guess, what hospital is this? Pavel, are you here?
Yes, sir. Can you hear me?
Yeah. What kind of conditions, if any, do you think would be appropriate, aside from no contact? You heard the case that we're doing, right? The indecent exposure?
Yes. Sir, we'll defer to the court, but generally speaking, I wouldn't suggest no contact with the hospital in the event that he actually needs care. So just no contact with this complaint specifically would be appropriate.
Yeah. Okay. Mr. Sprague, what do you do for a living?
Right now, I do contract work for my boss. Just like remodeling and contract work for my boss right now.
So you have monthly income?
It depends on how much work he gets because he's my boss. So if he doesn't have no work, then I have no work either.
How much money would you say you make on a monthly basis?
It all depends on what jobs he gets.
What did you do last month?
Last month, I think around $300.
The entire month? Where do you live?
My car. Yes. Yeah.
All right. Did you want to apply for an appointed lawyer, sir?
Yes, please.
Okay. I'll provide your lawyer today. Do not pick up any new cases. Don't have any contact. You have to understand, do you not have family here?
I do, but I mean, they're kind of, they haven't given up on me, but.
Estranged?
Yeah.
So consider this. If you go out there, you pick up a new case. We gave you a free bond this time. That's why you're out of jail. Back in the old days, this wouldn't happen and you'd be stuck with like $1,000 to $2,000 bond and you'd be stuck like Chuck in jail. You're out now. Make good decisions, because if you don't and you pick up a new case, I'm telling you, you will not get any more PR bonds. If you have a $5,000 bond and you don't have anyone to pay it, what's going to happen?
Sit in jail.
Right. Consider that when you're out there in the free world. All right. Okay. I'm gonna let me see. I need you to fill out an application for me. So Deputy Holly's going to give you an application. I will have you go to Victoria, sign a reset, and then I'm going to have you take a seat in the jury box. Do not leave until you sign our bond conditions, and then I'll have you speak to lawyer today. Okay, please.